25 insane facts about Boston you never knew. Number 1 will blow your mind. Number 25. Boston consistently lands near the top of every worst drivers ranking in the United States. The city's chaotic road network, built over old cow paths and colonial-era lanes, creates a driving experience that terrifies even seasoned locals. Rotaries with no clear right-of-way, aggressive lane changes, and the infamous Boston left make navigating here a true survival sport. Number 24. The Boston accent is one of the most recognizable in America, yet most people can only imitate a cartoon version of it. Dropping the letter R is just the beginning. True Bostonians at RS where none belong, turning pizza into pizzier. Linguists have mapped over a dozen micro-variations across different neighborhoods, each with its own distinct twist. Number 23. Harvard University opened its doors in 1636, a full 50 years before Isaac Newton and Gottfried Leibniz developed calculus. That means students attended Harvard for half a century without any higher mathematics to study. It is the oldest institution of higher education in the United States and has produced 8 American presidents, making it older than the country it serves. Number 22. Today, Boston Common is a peaceful park where families picnic and tourists stroll along tree-lined paths. But centuries ago, this exact ground served as a site for public executions. Accused witches, pirates, and even Quakers were hanged from the great elm that once stood near the center. The tree is gone, but a plaque still marks where it stood. Number 21. In 1919, a giant storage tank in Boston's North End burst open, releasing 2.3 million gallons of molasses in a devastating wave that moved at 35 miles per hour. The sticky flood crushed buildings, trapped horses, and killed 21 people while injuring 150 more. Locals swear that on hot summer days, the streets in the area still smell faintly of molasses. Number 20. The Green Monster is not a creature but a 37-foot-tall wall in left field at Fenway Park, the oldest active Major League Baseball stadium in America. Built in 1912, the wall has crushed the dreams of countless visiting pitchers who thought they had an easy fly-out, only to watch the ball bounce off the monster for a double. Number 19. When Boston opened its Tremont Street subway tunnel in 1897, it became the first city in the entire Western Hemisphere to operate an underground rapid transit system. The original tunnel still carries passengers today, over 125 years later. New York, often assumed to have built the first subway, did not open its system until 7 years after Boston had already been running theirs. Number 18. Almost half of modern-day Boston did not exist when the city was founded. The original settlement sat on a tiny peninsula surrounded by water. Over the course of 150 years, Bostonians systematically leveled entire hills and dumped the dirt into the surrounding bays and marshes, creating neighborhoods like Back Bay, South End, and most of the waterfront from scratch. Number 17. Most people know Sam Adams as a popular beer brand, but the real Samuel Adams was one of the masterminds behind the American Revolution. He organized the Boston Tea Party, signed the Declaration of Independence, and later served as governor of Massachusetts. The brewery that borrowed his name was founded in 1984 and reportedly pays his estate nothing for the honor. Number 16. In 1773, furious colonists dressed as Mohawk warriors boarded 3 British ships and dumped 342 chests of tea into Boston Harbor. The Boston Tea Party destroyed roughly 92,000 pounds of tea worth nearly $2 million in today's money. It was one of the single most expensive acts of political protest in history and directly sparked the American Revolution. Number 15. MIT has a long tradition of elaborate pranks called hacks, and one of the most legendary occurred in 1994 when students placed a realistic replica of a campus police car on top of the university's Great Dome, complete with flashing lights and a box of donuts on the dashboard. Campus police had to use a crane to remove it. Nobody was ever caught. Number 14. Boston Latin School, founded in 1635, is the oldest public school in the United States, predating even Harvard by a full year. 5 signers of the Declaration of Independence attended classes here, including Benjamin Franklin and Samuel Adams. The school still operates today and remains one of the most competitive public schools in the country, with an acceptance rate lower than many universities. Number 13. Beneath Boston's streets lies a sprawling network of forgotten tunnels, some dating back to the colonial era. These passages originally served as smuggling routes, utility corridors, and even escape paths during the Revolutionary War. Several connect to historic buildings downtown, and urban explorers have reported finding sealed chambers and bricked-up doorways that lead to places the city has simply forgotten about. Number 12. From 1659 to 1681, celebrating Christmas was literally illegal in Boston. The Puritan leaders who governed the Massachusetts Bay Colony considered holiday festivities sinful and fined anyone caught feasting, decorating, or skipping work on December 25th. The penalty was 5 shillings per offense. Boston was one of the last places in America to fully embrace Christmas as a public celebration. Number 11. The official dessert of Massachusetts, Boston cream pie, is actually a cake. Created at the Parker House Hotel in 1856, it consists of sponge cake layers filled with custard and topped with chocolate glaze. It was originally called a pie because early American bakers used the same pans for both cakes and pies. The hotel still serves the original recipe to this day. Number 10. Paul Revere's legendary ride to warn colonists that British troops were coming very nearly failed before it started. He was almost captured by a British patrol just minutes into his journey and only escaped by riding into a cemetery where the soldiers refused to follow. 2 other riders were sent on the same mission that night, but history only remembered Revere. Number 9. The exterior of the Bull and Finch pub on Beacon Street was used as the establishing shot for the iconic television series Cheers. But the real interior looks absolutely nothing like the Hollywood set. Disappointed tourists who walk in expecting to see Sam Malone's bar find a completely different layout. The owners eventually built a replica of the TV set in a separate location to satisfy visitors. Number 8. First run in 1897, the Boston Marathon is the oldest continuously held annual marathon on the planet. Unlike most major marathons, you cannot simply sign up and run. Runners must meet strict qualifying times based on age and gender, making it one of the most exclusive road races in the world. Over 30,000 qualified runners compete each year on Patriots' Day in April. Number 7. Perched atop Faneuil Hall since 1742 is a giant copper grasshopper weather vane that weighs over 80 pounds and stretches 4 feet long. Created by metalsmith Shem Drown, it has survived fires, earthquakes, and hurricanes for nearly 3 centuries. During the Revolutionary War, it was reportedly used as a test to identify British spies, who could not answer what sat on top of Faneuil Hall. Number 6. Greater Boston is home to over 100 colleges and universities, including Harvard, MIT, Boston University, and Northeastern. During the academic year, roughly 250,000 students flood into the metropolitan area, making it the most student-dense city in the entire United States. This concentration of young, educated talent is a major reason why Boston has become a global hub for biotech, medicine, and innovation. Number 5. Boston's Central Artery Tunnel Project, known as the Big Dig, rerouted the city's main highway underground and took over 15 years to complete. The final cost ballooned to nearly $24 billion, making it the single most expensive highway construction project in American history. Workers moved 16 million cubic yards of dirt and used enough concrete to build a sidewalk from Boston to San Francisco and back 3 times. Number 4. On March 10, 1876, Alexander Graham Bell spoke the first words ever transmitted by telephone from his laboratory at 109 Court Street in Boston, calling out to his assistant in the next room. That single moment changed the course of human communication forever. The building where it happened was later demolished, and today a small plaque on a government office building is the only marker of where the modern world of telecommunications was born. Number 3. Buried beneath Boston's busy streets, a forgotten river still flows silently in the darkness. The original course of the muddy river and several smaller streams were paved over as the city expanded, but the water never stopped moving. Engineers must constantly account for these hidden waterways when constructing new buildings and tunnels. Occasionally, heavy rains overwhelm the old channels and mysterious flooding appears on streets with no visible water source. Number 2. Nearly every major event that triggered the American Revolution happened right here in Boston. The Stamp Act riots, the Boston Massacre, the Boston Tea Party, Paul Revere's Ride, and the battles of Lexington and Concord all took place in or around this city. Walking Boston's Freedom Trail covers 16 historic sites where the fight for American independence physically began. No other city in the country can claim that concentration of revolutionary history. Number 1. Beneath some of Boston's most expensive and heavily trafficked neighborhoods lie thousands of unmarked graves. The city's oldest burial grounds were simply paved over as Boston expanded, and construction projects routinely uncover human remains. In 2020, workers building a new hotel near the Common discovered over 1,000 skeletons from the 1700s just a few feet below the sidewalk. Every step through downtown Boston is quite literally a walk over the dead.